consumer price index, the impact on the economy. We tried as much as possible to break it down in the earlier introduction, but let's start from the very basics. And Ayo Anthony, we turn to you. Not many get the hang of it. Rebased consumer price index, understanding what rebasing is. What is it all about in simple, everyday language?
Okay. Thank you very much. Consumer Price Index, which we call CPI, is an index that tracks changes in prices of goods and services consumed by household. It excludes investment goods. Now, CPI, as I've defined it, is a relative index. Relative in the sense that you are comparing prices in a given period with a base period. Relativity. Not just a relative index, it's also weighted. Weighted in the sense that you capture the relative expenditure of household on an item in the computation of CPI. So these two things I mentioned now, the adjustment of the base year or the price reference period, and also the adjustment of the weight, which we call relative expenditure, is all called CPI rebasing. When I say price reference period, for example, now in MBS or in Nigeria, before the rebase CPI, we were comparing prices in 2024 to price in 2009, meaning that 2009 was our price reference period or the base year. So rebasing means that you bring the base year closer to the current period so that the price change will reflect the current economic reality. That is one. Also, the second aspect of rebasing is bringing the current consumption pattern of people on board in the computation of this price change. When I say consumption pattern of people, that's what we call weight, or we call relative expenditure. Before the rebasing in Nigeria, in current rebasing, our weight reference period was also 2009, meaning that we were using relative expenditure of items of 2009. And this weight we are talking about is dynamic. It changes with time. It's a function of income. It's a function of price change. It's a function of weather. It's a function of innovation. And all these variables I mentioned, they are highly volatile. They change with time. So rebasing is all about bringing the price reference period closer to the current period and bringing on board current consumption pattern. And also, if time permits, it also involves reviewing the methodology used in computing the index.
Well, in this case, the question of inflation will be thrown up pretty clearly, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Inflation is gotten from consumer price index. Without computing consumer price index, which is called CPI, you cannot get inflation rate. Consumer price index only measures changes in prices, but the rate at which price changes is called inflation, if it is a positive change. So after we have computed CPI, so inflation, from your headline, you said something. We have what we call headline inflation. The headline inflation has two dimensions, year on year or month on month. So when you are talking of year on year inflation, it's when you are comparing CPI of January 2025 to CPI of January 2024. That gives you year on year inflation rate. When you are comparing CPI of January 2025 with December 2024, the percentage changes in these two CPI give you month on month inflation rate.